How's it going, guys? Dynamic Entry here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle card analysis, this time the much requested comparison between the Intelligence Turles and the TEQ Turles that can be obtained via the World Tournament.
Dynamic! Fatality.
Alright, first things first. The Turles on the right, the TEQ Turles, is a World Tournament exclusive. In JP, that tournament has already passed, and in Global, either it's currently going on, or it just ended, depending on when I'm going to upload this video. Either way, the chance to get this Turles has pretty much passed, but I still wanted to talk about which of these cards is better, and how you can utilize them in a team if you do happen to have one, or maybe both of them. Let's talk about the artwork first. I actually do prefer the Intelligence Turles as artwork. I've always enjoyed the ring-shaped Kill Driver super attack, and I really enjoy the fact that we have it on the card right here. I'm not quite sure about the artwork on the TEQ Turles. His face is a bit weird, but in general I like the pose, I like the action, and it's really a pose that we don't have on too many other cards, where he actually has already fired the Ki Blast. Usually on the Dokkan Battle artwork, we have a guy in the process of firing it, like blasting a Kamehameha wave or something like that, but this Turles has already fired it. You can see it fly away from him. I enjoy it. We don't have very many cards with this pose. So on to more substantial things, let's talk about the stats. The HP on INT Turles is phenomenal, almost 10,000 HP. That means he really does add quite a lot of buff to your team, even compared to other SSRs. In case you're curious, to me, anything that's around 8,000, 8,500-ish for an SSR is good, and anything that surpasses 9,500 or something like that is a step beyond that and already a higher tier of HP. Now the HP of the TEQ one is quite a bit lower, over 1,000 lower, but as I just said, the 8,400 tier 4 HP is still quite decent, so there's really nothing to complain, even though the INT Turles has the better HP stat. In terms of attack, the TEQ Turles has the better stats, 6,900, pretty much almost 7,000, and the INT Turles with almost 6,800. Now the problem with this is, I can't really say the TEQ Turles wins this round, because both of them lose in this round. Attack stats below 7,000 are really bad for SSRs, but the main strength of these cards is not in their attack and not their damage output, but in their utility. So you can just know right off the bat, these guys are not going to hit hard. They both have really good defense stats. 4,000 defense is all I require from SSRs, and the TEQ Turles even has 5,000. So if you want to get a bit more tanky, that's a good point to be at. So overall, the HP and the defense stats on Turles really good, but the problem is his attack is just too low. I really think it wouldn't have hurt this Turles, both of them really, to be around 7,200, 7,300. I understand they want to lowball his attack because he's really a support character, but under 7,000, come on, don't do that to me on SSRs. Okay, on to their leader skill, which are really an important part of these cards. The INT Turles does Ki +2 for all types, while the TEQ Turles gives 3 Ki to all types, as long as you have over 50% HP. Now let's right off the bat compare that to Majub. Majub gives 3 Ki to all types if you have 80% HP or more. So this is currently the best 3 Ki leader on Global, but he's not going to stay that very long because Gogeta is right around the corner, and once we get Gogeta, he's going to be the non-plus ultra of leaders for a long time to come. Both of these leader skills are really useful for a rainbow team, especially because of the links. So this guy doesn't just give you +2 Ki from his leader skill, like for example the Meta Cooler would do, but he also links up quite well, as we'll see later, with most top tier cards. Now this is going to be a very personal opinion, so make sure you comment down below and tell me what your opinion on this is. I actually prefer the Intelligence Turles leader skill. Now there's a lot to be said about how easy it is to stay over 50% HP, and really it is quite easy. Now if you know the Dokkan strength type Super Saiyan 3 Goku and have played around with him, then you know it's not that hard to stay above 50% HP. For Majub, it's 80% HP, so that kinda sucks. It's really easy to drop below 80%. But staying above 50% is doable. I just think it's worth sacrificing that 1 Ki for the complete consistency. But there are definitely situations where 3 Ki is better, so this is really situational and depends on your needs. but be sure to drop a comment down below on which one of these leader skills you'd rather use. Personally, I prefer consistency, so I would go for +2 ki. Their super attacks have the same animation, which is the kill driver, which we can see on the artwork on the left Turles here. They both do extreme damage, and you might think that sucks, but you gotta keep in mind that you can actually farm an SR Turles from the Tree of Might event. So it's pretty much a guaranteed way to raise these two guys' super attack level to 10. And at super attack level 10, he becomes okay. He still hits like a feather. He's never going to be a damage dealer, not even at super attack level 10. But at the very least, you won't be ashamed when he does his super attack if you actually do get him to super attack level 10. If you already did that, tell me down below. I haven't done it yet because I don't actually have either of them on my global account, that is. Now here's a very important distinction between these two Turles, and really one of the two main reasons I believe the Intelligence Turles is the better card. The left Turles, the Intelligence one, has a high chance to knock out, and that's really his main use. He boosts your ki and he stuns your enemy, while the TEQ Turles only has a rare chance to stun your enemy. And that makes a lot of difference. Now the TEQ Turles and the Intelligence Turles both stun for 2 turns, if they do actually stun, but it still sucks that the TEQ World Tournament Turles got a rare chance, while the Intelligence one got a high chance. In any case, I really do notice that the Intelligence Turles stuns a lot more than a rare chance does. So in my opinion, the first round definitely goes to the Intelligence Turles. But now let's have a look at the passive and the links and see who wins the entire comparison. First off, they have the exact same links, so we can breeze over those quickly. Destroyer of the Universe, that's a Turles team link. You will never use it, forget about it. Saiyan Warrior Race, plus 700 attack, with a lot of really useful cards. 700 attack is not a lot, but the link is very common, so it's good that he has it. Prepared for Battle, this guy's main link, ready for war in JP Dokkan Battle, the +2 key link everybody wants. In my opinion, the tier of key links is Ready for War or Prepared for Battle is about as good as Over in a Flash. They sometimes oscillate. Sometimes Over in a Flash is the better link, sometimes Ready for War is. It really depends on your box, and Shocking Speed is close behind. This guy has Prepared for Battle, and that makes him really useful for most meta teams, because he boosts your ki by 2 with his leader, and then again with Prepared for Battle, and as we'll see, his passive is also quite relevant. Now after Prepared for Battle, we have Thirst for Conquest, a plus 15% attack link with quite a few villains, but overall outside of gimmick teams and maybe the villains event, you will never see use for this link. And then Big Bad Bosses is kind of the same thing. It has its uses, and it's cool that he has it, considering the link is actually quite powerful, plus 25% to attack and defense, I think, as long as you're under 80% HP. But the problem is, not a lot of villain cards with this link are currently top tier, so you're never going to see it used, and you're most likely going to pair him up with Super Saiyans, and he doesn't have Super Saiyan link, but he does have Saiyan Warrior Race and Ready for War, so he links up decently with the Saiyan hero cards. The stuff I said about the links so far is the exact same for the Intelligence and the TEQ Turles, so let's have a look at their passive. Power of the Tree of Might's Fruit on the Intelligence Turles gives 2 ki for all types as long as you're over 50% HP. Now that means as long as you're over 50% HP, this Intelligence Turles gives your allies plus 4 ki with his leader and his passive, and then another 2 ki if you're linked up with Prepared for Battle. That is a total of 6 ki, assuming that Intelligence Turles is out, and 2 ki if he's not. The TEQ Turles gives 3 ki to all your characters as long as you're over 50% HP, and his passive gives himself, and only himself, 3 ki for 5 turns. Now I have a huge problem with the TEQ Turles' passive, and the following is my problem. That kind of passive belongs on a damage dealing card. For example, the Agility Super Saiyan 2 Goku, even though he also doesn't do that much damage, at least he's intended back then when he was released as a damage dealer. This TEQ Turles here is clearly a support unit. His leader skill, his extreme damage multiplier, and his chance to knock out all point towards him being a supporter, not to mention his really low attack stat. So supering with this guy even at super attack level 10, is not going to be all that relevant unless you're doing some extra tricks with items or with a Super Saiyan Blue TEQ Goku. So there's a real problem with this guy's passive, because he has a selfish passive even though he's a support card, and support cards should never have selfish passives. And the Intelligence Turles is exactly the opposite. He has support, 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 his leader is support, his super attack extreme and high chance to knock out is support, and his passive and links all yell support. So you know what you're getting if you're picking Intelligence Turles. You're getting a card that might stun your enemy for a long time, that gives your other cards ki to do their super attacks, and does his own chip damage from time to time. While the right Turles, the TEQ Turles, he does give your cards a lot of ki with his links and his leader skill, but his passive is really selfish, and even though that pretty much guarantees that he'll do a super attack, he's not the card you want to do the super attack with. Not to mention that the TEQ Turles actually has a lower 12 ki multiplier at 120, which is quite low. You know I really dislike 120 as a 12 ki multiplier, while the Intelligence Turles has a passable 130. Still not good, but at least it's kinda up there. So my final verdict is the Intelligence Turles is better overall. He has slightly lower attack, and he only gives 2 ki as a leader, but it's unconditional. His passive has the same condition, but it boosts everybody and not just himself, and the links on him are great. The TEQ Turles is still a really decent card. The World Tournament doesn't have a lot of good cards. This is definitely one of the better ones, assuming you don't have the Intelligence one, but I still have to say the Intelligence one is better, even though the TEQ Turles will probably still find use in your teams, at least until you get a better 3 ki leader, or maybe if you have a 2 ki leader and prefer consistency like I do. So that's my opinion on the 2 Turles cards that are currently out. Drop a comment down below if you agree or disagree. I love discussing this with you, even or especially if you do disagree, because we're all here to learn, and I really enjoy talking about Dokkan Battle with all of you guys. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Check out my other Dokkan Battle content on my channel. Drop down into the comments below and talk to me about these cards or anything else Dokkan Battle or DBZ related that's on your mind. And I'll see you guys in the next video that I'll make. Bye guys.